My name is Phil Paolina. My guest today, Don the Dragon Wilson. Greatest kickboxer that ever lived. Van Lathan. Nice guy. Hey, what's your 3 favorite boxing movies?
My 3 favorite boxing movies. It's a good question. The Great White Hype. It's a good boxing
James
movie.
Earl Jones?
No.
Are you talking with Peter
Great
Berg
White
and
Hype? I don't remember that one.
with Peter
I don't remember
Berg.
that.
With Peter Berg and Damon Wayans.
Are you kidding? Or,
That's my favorite boxing movie ever. The Great White Hype.
Okay.
That's great. Cinderella Man.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy Cinderella Man.
Yeah, that was great.
And probably a movie called Dickstown.
Yeah, with that black, what's his name?
With that black.
The guy, man.
What the fuck?
No, you know what I'm saying.
Are you talking about Lou Gossett Jr.?
He's an Academy Award-winning actor.
That black?
I was just starting to, in my mind, okay, it's a black guy. Let me think who's, that's all.
That black.
You sound like Trump. Trump says,
that's what he says.
Where's my blacks? Look at my wonderful blacks
crazy,
here. Look at
Phil.
he calls them his.
That was
he
bad, man. I mean, like, I couldn't remember him. I said, I'm trying to think who he was, and... man, look, that don't mean that. God, man.
No, it's
like
funny.
Where's my chink?
It's just funny.
Where did I put my chink?
It's like,
hey, like
Lou
Don,
Gossett Jr.
Do you know Don the Dragon? He's the Asian?
No.
Is that bad?
Fuck yes. Like,
really? He's an Asian guy.
Just don't do it. How about that?
I won't do it.
It's
Don
good.
the Dragon.
Hey,
yeah, I know.
It's like Lou Gossett Jr., the guy from Iron Eagle, the guy from Officer and the Gentleman. You know,
Academy Award winner.
Academy Award winner. The guy
I
from
couldn't
Enemy
remember him at
the
all
guy from Enemy
until
Mine.
Dickstown. Huh? Yeah, that was a good movie.
With James Woods, who is
was
fucking
the fighter? Who was the fighter in that?
Honey Roy Palmer. Lou Gossett Jr. was the fighter.
What about the fighter? You know, that was a true story.
Good
fighter. You know,
fighter with Mickey Rourke.
No, not Mickey Rourke. It was the
Mickey Wahlberg.
Mickey Wahlberg, yeah.
Mickey Wahlberg,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. What about that Antonio Barreras, Woody Harrelson one?
Play It to the Bone.
Yeah, I never saw that.
It's good. Play It to the Bone.
You like really stupid, dumb boxing movies, huh?
I like.
What about Raging Bull? Nobody's going to nominate that one? I mean,
Raging Bull is good, but think about it. Raging Bull is only a little bit of a boxing movie. It's really a movie about one guy's cult of personality. It's which most boxing movies are, but like Raging Bull is the best boxing movie ever made. But as far as my favorite boxing movies, they're normally not the serious ones, because the serious boxing movies are all like, you gotta dig down real deep and find something inside of your soul that you didn't know it was there. Come on, Timmy, do it for me, do it for Mama, do it for these people. And I don't like that shit.
Tell me what you like, so I'll know what to tell you when you're in a fight.
What I like is the boxing movies that parody the sport, that take the more sort of lighthearted aspects of the boxer-trainer relationship or the fighters themselves, and kind of put them in that light. I like movies because. To me,
you like Rockies at all?
Rocky is good, but boxing is such a dramatic sport that most of the movies that have to do with boxing drift into melodrama. And I don't particularly like melodrama. I like things that have to do, like even basketball movies, right? My favorite basketball movie, it's not Hoosiers, which is a big time melodrama. It's White Man Can't Jump, which is a movie that is about basketball culture, but more has to do with the relationship between the two guys and situations like that. So that's basically what I like. The Cinderella Man, though, is a film that doesn't just explore boxing, explores the times, how the depression was affecting people, and a guy who really had to go and like reestablish something that he already had. Any movie where you have to get back something that you lost, I really like films like that. What you like Raging Bull, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Raging Bull. Like what else? Like what other boxing movies you dig? Like what are you into? Rocky, of course.
There was a Max Schmeling movie.
That was
made in Germany.
Cinderella Man.
Max Schmeling movies. Yeah. Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man. I like Hurricane, even though that wasn't just about boxing. But I like, like you were saying, when it covers every situation.
But also, I have issues with Rocky, though. I have issues with Rocky. Because Rocky kind of racist.
He's who?
Rocky's is a racist movie. A little bit.
Rocky?
Yeah, man.
Well,
how many times?
Listen.
How many times in reality does Apollo beat Rocky? Let's say like so Rocky could never fight, right? Rocky couldn't
that
fight.
was based off
When
of
was
Chuck
it?
Wepner, though, man.
Who,
that was alive.
Chuck Wepner, who did what?
He got knocked out.
Got his ass whooped, right?
He got knocked out too.
Right,
didn't
but
he?
see, when
No,
white
I
man,
think he went the distance.
No, I think
when
he
white
got
man
stopped.
started writing your fantasies, it's
got
all about
stopped.
we got a draw, we really should have won, and then all of a sudden Rocky goes from. So let's look at how bullshit Rocky is. The entire thing, Rocky goes from a club fighter
Yeah.
who couldn't even get a shot, right, to eventually being the greatest heavyweight of all time. Okay, Rocky was so shot at in the fight in the first movie. Mickey smacked his face
Yeah, with his eye.
and said, "What do you think Creed's gonna do to you?" He beats Creed, and all of a sudden, between 2 and 3, he gets massively swole.
Oh, yeah.
Massively swole out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then he's fighting Russian androids and beating them by the fourth one.
Yeah, it got supernatural.
Yeah.
It got supernatural. Because really, the first one made sense only in this regard. Apollo Creed didn't take him serious.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's the only reason that might actually happen, because it did.
He's the one who gave him the fight, Apollo Creed.
Yeah, but he didn't take him
I
serious.
don't
He wouldn't even
understand
watch
the
him.
racist part in that.
In the next movie.
No, the first one.
In
You
the
said
first one,
No,
right?
no.
The first
In
one.
the whole thing. In the next movie, Duke is actually afraid of Rocky. Like, Creed wants his rematch. Duke looks at Creed and says, "Hey, champ, he's all wrong for us."
Wait a minute.
Apollo-
Duke was came in 5.
No, Duke. That's George Washington Duke. I'm talking about like Apollo's trainer. Am I getting his name wrong?
Yeah. Apollo's trainer. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
I worked with that guy in a movie. The
bald-headed guy.
He was a real trainer, by the way.
Oh, see,
The guy that played a trainer was a trainer.
So Apollo obviously, and he goes, "Champ, I seen you hit this man so many times, blah blah blah." He just kept coming. He's all wrong for his champ. Like, nah, they're scared of Rocky. Apollo Creed, the best heavyweight out there.
Yeah, but a trainer can see certain things, man. That's all I think they were trying to say. That in a real fight, just like Chuck Wepner.
What they're trying to say is the big, black, strong athlete is going to cave to the special, unbeatable spirit of a vanilla boxer.
The Italian fighter.
The white dude who can't be beat. Like I'm brave and I'm strong. It doesn't matter what you guys are quick and you're fast. That don't matter. You want to drive a Cadillac and dress all fancy? I'm going to come in there with the strength of me being the best. It's just the strength of my fortitude and just take a bunch of punches and beat you. It's bullshit. It never happens.
Well, you know what?
Never happens.
Movies are supposed to be fantasy, and that's a fantasy. That's here's what.
Tell me the unathletic white guy that walked around.
They asked Stallone once, "What is your key to success?" Because I will say this about him: he's extraordinary in this regard. His job at the time when he did Rocky was he was a ticket teller in Westwood. Him and his other wife, his first wife. Mm-hmm. They seated you. You walk with a flashlight. And he shows you your chair. That's his job.
Sasha.
And he was so broke, he took his wife's wedding ring and hawked it at a pawn shop. Still needed more money. Took his dog, took it to the pawn shop. They took it. The dog sold the dog. Mm-hmm. And yet he had the balls to say no when they said, "We don't want you to star in Rocky, but we want to buy the script for $250,000, I believe is what they offered him." Mm-hmm. He said no to that. Right. The reason he said, "I knew that was my one shot about making it in Hollywood. That role was, I wrote it for me, right. and that would make me a star." He knew it. I wouldn't have done it. I would for today if I wrote a script, and he wrote it over like a weekend or something, like 3 or 4 days straight of writing, because he was copying real life, the Wepner Ali thing,
right.
And I know it went through rewrites and stuff, because that John Avildsen is
a fantastic filmmaker.
Was the great look. He did the Karate Kid. Mm-hmm. He knew how to do those kind of stories.
Is he still living?
John Avildsen?
I think he died, didn't he? I'm not sure.
I think he might be gone.
I think he died.
But Stallone said the key to his success since Rocky is I give the audience what they want. And what they wanted was a white Italian heavyweight champion. They couldn't get it in reality, so they got it up in a movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Now, listen. There's been some white champions. Klitschko's white. I mean, it's not white
How
fighters.
did this get around?
Because
ethnic thing. White is like
because I drew you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not finished though.
I know. I drew you in with the Rocky because you know deep in your heart that the Rocky. You know, Rocky is like, it's white privilege porn, basically. You know that. You know, like I watch Rocky. And by the way, I can feel you getting a little bit like, this is good. I can feel you. I can
defensive.
See
He's getting defensive.
The look in your eyes. You don't like hearing this, but the reality is that Apollo Creed would have walked Rocky's ass every single night, and that's okay. You know what? I'm parroting my father here. Me and my dad watched the Rocky movie. My dad saw me liking Rocky. He goes, I don't want you to think this is true, son. It's not the way that goes. Rocky gets in the ring with this guy and he gets knocked out. That's what happens. You know what I mean? So now you're looking at it differently. So now that I've put it in the proper context for you, what's your favorite boxing movie now? Because it's not Rocky anymore. Now it's The Great White Hype.
I didn't really see that. I saw a little bit. It looked like stupid.
Yeah. You didn't like it because it's like a comedy, right? The comedy.
It's a comedy. But it's a comedy about like a real. It's actually
Peter Berg was like partying and drinking. He was the champ. That's like so stupid.
A woman manager or something, right? There was like a
no,
woman,
that was
that's the Play to the
Jackie
Bone.
Callan one.
Oh, that's a different one. Oh,
with Meg Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Meg Ryan.
That's Play It to the Bone.
No, it's not.
That is.
No, it's not. Want to make a bet?
Oh no, that was the one with Mekhi Phifer in it, or Omar Epps.
Omar Epps.
She played Omar Epps.
Yeah, it was a Jackie Callan story. It was called. Yeah.
Whatever.
It wasn't bad to the bone.
I
It
didn't
was
realize
shit, man.
there were so many goofy boxing movies.
That was the one that was really about James Toney.
Southpaw is another good boxing movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a good one.
It's not a boxing movie.
Southpaw isn't?
Yeah.
Why?
It's love. It's about the relationship.
Okay, cool. All right.
Coming from Antoine.
That's what Antoine said.
Yeah, so I guess we
it's
got to
not
give him a
boxing.
little credit.
He directed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Got in super good shape. You know?
Yeah, it was good. And any racist stuff there? It was a white guy.
Is it American?
No, I'm asking you. It was a white fighter. Do you feel like that had something to do?
Is the movie American?
American?
Was it created here in America?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, then there was probably something racist in it.
He had a black trainer. Remember?
Yeah.
Tell me what, though.
I'm just saying. I'm telling you. Like, here's the thing. If it's created here in America, just bet racist. It's probably racist to a small degree. To like a.
I wish you could come over here and talk.
What? I mean, I'm just. This is where I'm at. Look, that's kind of. You know.
No. I mean, if you're right, it's messed up. But I don't see it.
There's nothing overtly racist about Southpaw. It's just a movie. But Rocky, to me, is a film like relies on several racist tropes.
How about Creed? Did that change it?
No, actually, Creed kind of did. I'll tell you what they did in Creed that was sneaky. So I'll tell you.
Creed 1 or
Creed 1 and Creed 2. So I'll tell you what they did in Creed that was sneaky, and this is what I like about Creed. So so what they basically do in Rocky is they make you believe Rocky's the best fighter ever, right? Rocky beats everyone. He loses some fights, but he beats everybody.
You know what Mickey said to him.
What did Mickey say?
I put you in with easy guys that you can beat.
Right.
And when he said like
He protected him.
Yeah, he says, and he said, don't fight Mr. T. I don't want you to fight Mr. T. So that sounds like what your father was saying about like.
Right.
Don't believe all that, he's knocking out a bunch of bums.
He's a wrecking machine.
He's a wrecking
something
machine.
like that, yeah.
Okay, exactly. So here's what they did in Creed. In Creed, they retconned Rocky's whole career. Because when Adonis Creed comes into the restaurant and he's talking to Rocky Balboa, and he asks him about his father, he goes, how was my father as a fighter? Rocky Balboa says to Adonis, he was a perfect fighter. Perfect. Like zero weaknesses. He says that actually it was Apollo Creed who was the best fighter ever. And then Adonis says to Rocky, he says, well, then how did you beat him? He says, I didn't beat him. Time beat him. Right? So what they do is, because they've shifted the focus of the narrative from Rocky to Apollo, now it's actually Apollo who's the greatest fighter, right? Because if you're gonna make that Rocky movie now, which they tried to do with Rocky Balboa, no one's gonna believe that it would go that way. You'd have to take Adonis Creed and put him into the world, and then make his pedigree the greatest pedigree of all time and make Rocky the secondary character because things in America have changed. American appetites have changed. What Americans believe about sports movies have changed. Whereas in Rocky, it wasn't. It was a very paint-by-numbers story. Great movie. Good stuff. But, like, it's like The Last Samurai.
Hey, maybe a movie was made for all these poor white people who never had a boxing champion, right? So they just gave him one?
Only they had a boxing champion, like 10, 15 years before then.
Who's that?
An undefeated boxing champion.
A heavyweight?
Yeah, like 20 years before that.
And Rocky Marciano.
Yeah, he never lost. So they like all of those people, I would say, enjoy reality and stop trying to write stories. Or
wait, hold on. Let's stay with Rocky Marciano. That's a good point.
Right.
Rocky Marciano did it. Mm-hmm. So why can't Rocky Balboa do it?
Because those are two completely different guys.
They're both Rockies.
They're both Rocky. They're both Rockies.
They're both Italian.
Right.
They're both heavyweights.
Right.
They both
can take a punch.
They both can take a punch.
Right.
They both can punch.
Right.
One guy. Well, where's why can't Rocky Balboa become champ?
I'll tell you. One guy never lost. Never lost. Beat everybody, right? Beat Joe Louis, beat everyone. One guy never lost. One guy went from one of the worst fighters to one of the best fighters.
Now, who is Apollo Creed based on?
Ali.
But Ali wasn't undefeated.
No, he wasn't. But he didn't lose to Chuck Wepner.
Yeah, but it was a movie, so you can go a step above real life.
All I'm saying is this. This is all I'm saying. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is a lot of times with these boxing movies or with movies, period, right? What ends up happening is things that exist in the minds of white guys get played out on the screen. And one thing is the belief that black men are athletically superior, strong, fast, all of that. But there's something inside of whiteness that is going to make it overcome against the physically stronger, more superior, more powerful, faster. Either he's going to outthink him, he's going to outheart him, he's going to do whatever.
Thinking is more important than the physical part in boxing.
Yeah, well, like during that time.
Look at him.
Right. He was the fucking best athlete in his high school.
No, not the way you said it. He played he played against white people. All the black people weren't on the team. Before you said, didn't he say that?
Wait. He just. No. Don spent a long time talking to us. Don was the best badminton, the best tennis, the best frisbee disc golf.
No, get to the point. No, he said basketball and football, and you said
right. So
they must have got rid of all the black people.
It was a joke, but the reality is this: he said.
No, I did go out for wrestling in college. I never wrestled in high school. Got a scholarship, and I took 4th in the state.
Wait. Hold on.
2 years.
Hold on.
So I could wrestle as well.
I'm not saying that white guys can't beat black guys in boxing. I'm saying Rocky couldn't. I'm saying that doesn't happen.
He couldn't if it's a movie.
Right, if it's a movie that reinforces all of these things.
Yeah, but Rocky Marciano did it, so there's it can be done.
He did it, but he never went. He never lost. No, he was the real deal.
Do you remember there was a scene, and this is because I have been in the movie business for 30 years. There's a scene in Rocky where they explain why he was able to rise to the occasion against Apollo. He's fighting a club fighter. Mm-hmm. And he's never got his nose broke, Rocky. That's what they claimed in the movie. And the guy breaks his nose. Now, in the fight, up to that time, Rocky's not doing well. He's, the Mickey's saying, come on, you got to do this. He's not doing good. And he breaks his nose, and the guy goes, Rocky goes, he broke my nose. He stands up, he knocks the guy right out. Mm-hmm. So with that, it's telling the audience, that's in the original Rocky.
No.
Yeah, he gets up. The guy breaks his nose. He gets up. He knocks the guy right out.
No, he didn't. He broke his nose when he fought Apollo.
No.
He fought. That scene you're talking about is when Rocky.
The opening scene of the movie. The opening scene of the movie.
No, that didn't come there.
You're saying he didn't break his nose?
He didn't break his nose. The first fight was against that guy, that cook. That found Jesus.
Whatever is
Spider Rico.
Whatever that fight was, he had the ability to knock the guy out, but he didn't know it. In other words, he got up, I thought it was the broken
No,
nose.
you're talking about
a
different movie,
but,
man.
But when he got up, he went across and knocked the guy out.
Rocky said to Mickey, "Is my nose broken?" He goes, "It looks better." Something like that.
Well, it may not. The nose. I'm not sure.
That was
but,
during
But I
Apollo's
know
fight.
that there was a fight.
That was the first
where
time he broke
gets
his
up.
nose.
Okay, then there wasn't the broken nose, but he gets up, and Mickey tells him whatever, and he knocks the guy right out, which means he's better than he even realizes himself. He had undiscovered greatness.
There was something in there,
right? And
Well, that's what Bill told
That's
you.
why they say in the movie, the story, that he could rise to the occasion. Because the truth of it is what you said. If you're a club fighter, you don't fight Apollo Creed and all of a sudden now you're the greatest boxer that ever lived.
This doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
Right. All I'm saying is about Rocky is that it's bullshit, and that's okay. It's
Well,
okay.
Rocky?
It's just a movie.
All right, Rocky's bullshit. Fine. All right, that's fine. But what's that other one you said that the Great White Hype? That's not bullshit.
Nah, I mean probably.
That's double bullshit.
I like it though. I like it just because it's a funny send up. I like funny send ups of stuff. You know, there's no funny send up kickboxing movies. We should do it. We should do a funny send up.
They're all revenge motivated movies. Even my own. Something happened to your brother, or something happened to your father, so your trainer, and then you got to get the revenge.
Yeah,
and that's
he's
the
coming out
motivation
of
for
retirement because
minimum.
you got to pay your lawyer. The wife is leaving you. You got to pay both lawyers. So you're coming out of retirement.
I
That's
already
the
did
movie.
that. That's called my life, Phil. That's not called a movie. I did that. Took the fights when I wasn't ready.
But
Did they ever ask you to take a dive?
I was about to ask him that.
Yeah, I told you I got offered 5 times the money. It was a Chinese promoter, and he was going to bet against the Japanese because the Japanese, me being half Japanese, would never think I'd throw a fight right in Japan.
Right.
So a Chinese guy could take my own people's money. How ashamed do you think my mother would have been of that? But the Chinese guy actually flew to Florida to make this offer, and I had a Corvette back then because I did, everything that fighters do. As soon as I won the title, I went out and bought a Corvette.
Hey.
You got to start spending that money fast.
Right.
And stay hungry.
Right.
And so he says, "Yeah, Corvette. You can buy 5 of them." And I said, "I don't need 5 Corvettes." And he said something that almost made me take the dive. He goes, "Your mother's house. You could pay off your mother's house, and she wouldn't have to work, and she'd be comfortable, and you." And I thought, shit, here I am with my ego. I don't want to lose all my record, and I'll get my title back in 3 months. I'll fight in Hong Kong, get it back. And my mom can pay off her house. She won't have to work and, paying for mortgage payments and all. And then I thought, no, you know what? It was 10 times what I was getting paid. I said, my mother would rather have me fight 10 more fights in Japan and win
Oh, wow.
than throw that fight so her people would lose money to the Chinese. Because the Chinese were promoting me, paying me good money in Hong Kong, and they thought they had me in their pocket. My first movie was a Chinese movie. It was not an American movie.
Is that like a racist thing?
I did it in 1982.
What? No. What do you mean?
Well, Chinese and Japanese, they don't get along. They've fought wars, and turns out the Japanese won all the wars, but they don't like each other.
Japanese good warriors.
They've won all the wars against China.
Yeah.
But if you ever watch the Chinese movies, Japanese get their rear ends handed. Even the Bruce Lee ones. He goes into the Japanese dojo and just whips them all.
Yeah.
But
Hey, what would you tell like a young kid who wants to be a champion boxer?
Boxing champion?
Yeah, young kid. He's all the talent in the world.
Good question.
I tell him to go to college, get an education.
I'm about to say, you should probably ask the champion.
I will. I know that's it. That was his answer. He'll say, "Don't fight."
I wouldn't advise it. Only fight if you can't. If you have to. You know what I mean? If you desire is so strong, you have to do it. You got to do it. You can't think of anything else. You got to be a fighter. Then I would help him. I would say, okay, well, the least you can do is get in shape, keep your hands up.
So what would you tell somebody?
Commit. I'd say commit. Like if you look, there's very few things that you have to commit to as much as this, and not just commit. Because one thing you see in boxing is guys that have the ability to commit to aspects of it. Some guys can commit to training, but they can't control their personal lives. Some guys can control their personal lives, but they're lazy in the gym. Some guys can do all of these things, but they can't stop drinking alcohol and things like that. I would say that if you really want to be a champion in boxing, it's a lifestyle. It's something that you have to think about at every meal, whenever you're gonna drink, whenever you're gonna go out and do whatever. Like, it's a lifestyle. And the guys who have really been able to maintain it are guys who've been able to master that part of it in terms of longevity. The guys who've been able to manage and deal with the stuff that's happening when they're not in camp, and also when they're not like actually fighting. So if you look at a guy like Mayweather, say whatever you want about Mayweather's personal life and all the problems that he's had, Mayweather is insanely disciplined. Like, we covered it at TMZ, the nutritionists and the plates that he would eat and things like that. And he did that because that was the way that he was going to be successful for as long as he was. And when you see guys that don't really have that, even if we talk about Roy, right? Roy got bored with boxing, so what did he start doing? He started going up and down, you know what I mean? He started rapping. He started doing all of that stuff. And none of that stuff is bad. All of that stuff is great. Go get your money and stuff like that. But as far as Roy Jones Jr., the boxer, like, he was as locked in and as great as he was is because he was completely focused. And it takes a different type of focus to be good at this particular sport. If you hooping right now, you go out, bust somebody's ass, go drink at the club, go turn up and stuff like that, blah, blah. But here, you can do a little bit of that, but you're going to get snake bit. And the guys who've been able to do it are the guys who've been able to stay away.
Roy's actually played basketball on the day he had fights.
On the day he had a fight.
But he's like,
he was a freak.
He's a freak.
Yeah, on the day he had a fight.
He was physically a level above everybody else.
But remember, that only happened after there was no one that could beat him.
Yeah.
The fights weren't going on pay-per-view, so Roy was trying to make himself. Part of that was him trying to make himself into the biggest celebrity that he could make himself into.
He did it on purpose because it was a publicity stunt.
It was publicity.
Like,
thing
I'm so confident I'm gonna play basketball today.
The fight was at Radio City Music Hall.
Right.
And he came out with all the dances.
Yeah, he was when he fought Telesco, and you look at all of that stuff. But that was because he was still fighting at a time where the heavyweights were big draws and all of that, which Mayweather wasn't. So Floyd ended up fighting anybody who was 4 million buys or 3 million buys or whatever it was, so it was different. But if you want to be that, I think a lot of guys look at a guy like Floyd, right? And they think that being the sharpest, best fighter is what made him good for that long, right? And it's obviously part of it, but really, it was the dedication. He always came in shape. He always worked extremely hard. He always did all of those things. So he really dedicated himself and put in the time and the work.
He had a good defense, you know that? He didn't take a lot of punishment.
His first fight
well protected.
Castillo.
You feel like he lost?
I have to see it again.
I watched it again. I don't think he lost the fight.
Really?
I watched it again.
Did you watch the first one? Or
I watched 1 and 2. I don't think he lost the fight. I think it was closer.
We should watch it together.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that the first time, I thought he outworked him. He beat him.
You thought Floyd did or Castillo?
No, Castillo.
We should watch it again. I watched it not too long ago. I don't think he lost. Like, I get why people think if there's a loss on. Really, to be honest with you, I think the Madonna fight was closer than the Castillo fight was. I think the first Madonna fight was closer than the Castillo fight was.
I think Mayweather, if I remember, I only seen that fight once. I think Mayweather could have went either way. But the Castillo fight, I thought Castillo won.
Okay. I mean, look, you could think. I mean, you.
Well, it's the judging. If you don't knock a guy out, there's 3 people sitting there, and they just decide. Right,
guys,
right. They're just going to decide. That's the way the game works.
I missed it.
Man, it was the worst. And let me tell you, I have a connection with the guy that lost. I gave him his biggest break you could give anybody. I sent a manager to him. He was living in Arizona. I heard through some people I was talking to, I was looking for a fighter for this manager. And he lives in Phoenix also. I called him up one day. I said, here's the address. Go see this guy. He could be one of your best fighters. He just started out. He went down to his house, signed him right on the spot, gave him like a suitcase of money. And 2 weeks later or 4 weeks later, he fought on Showbox. He only fought 4-round fights. He fought an 8-round fight against Maurice Hooker, who became a champ. Yeah. And he fought a draw to him with him. All right, 2 weeks or something right after he signed him, because this guy's got big pockets, and he was new to the fight game and money. If you're willing to give people money, they're going to give you the opportunity. and he ended up having a couple of fights of the year, and he got this fight with Ugas. You know, that Cuban guy? That's who he fought. The Cuban guy.
Like the guy with the ears and the long arms?
Yeah, the guy that got robbed with Kevin Porter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so this fight, look, man, it was on Fox, PBC. He won 12 rounds. It was like wasn't even, he landed 300 punches to like 100. Mm-hmm. He got stunned 2 times. Mm-hmm. At the end of the round, like he got hit with a good shot. That's all. He buckled a little bit. The round was over. He didn't go down or anything. They gave the decision. It was obvious. All the announcers said they all said 120 to 108, 12 rounds. Mm-hmm. Right, and this was for the vacant title. They go like this. We have a split decision.
Oh, you got robbed.
Oh no. We have a split decision. This is the most sickest thing I've ever. That's why I love doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Because I'm so fed up with those fucking judges doing this shit. It's so fucked up, man. You know, when you want to be treated somewhat fair. All right, so they go to a split decision. They go 117, 110 for Ramos. Mm-hmm. He was the guy that like lost every round. Mm-hmm. That means it was 9-3.
Right.
All right. Then the next 2 said 115, 113. And then the winner, they go and new. Mm-hmm. They gave it to Ugas, right?
Right.
Lennox Lewis, Joe Goosen wouldn't even say anything. They asked him, "What do you think?"
Right.
We don't even want to comment on it. It got me so.
But they got the decision right.
Yeah, but.
Right. Well, I mean, look, we've seen scores like that before, right?
No, not like this one.
But you'll see scores sometimes where it'll be. You'll see scores sometimes where it'll be.
It was Lou Moret, 70, almost 80 years old. You know, yeah. You know, a lot of times you can't see the back of a fighter if he's getting hit, right?
Yeah, that's why you gotta have 3 judges to see.
I think they should have way more than 3 judges. They should have 10 or something or 9. Where because you need to see every angle, and if it's obvious. 7 out of the 9 will say yeah,
but
you get less chance of all these.
This is a kind of sport that the information has to be given to the audience immediately. They can't wait.
What's the difference?
Well, because if you could wait, you could watch tapes and you could have more people judging.
What's wrong with having 2 judges on each side, 8 judges? What's wrong with that?
What do you mean?
In boxing, 3 judges is not enough. That's how you get crooked fights.
Because
if something's very obvious, you might get 2 of them to say, bullshit. Yeah. But you got the other 6 that are going to see the fight right.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, Don, I know we got a million other stories, man. We definitely want to talk again another time, for sure. You were we're going to fight soon, man.
Yeah, we're going to fight.
Would you fight Jake Paul too, if you want to fight?
I would fight either guy. It'd be fun.
And you if I had to say where you're at right now,
mm-hmm.
where you're going to go, you're at a 5.
I can't be a 5 if 10 is being a world champion.
No, 10 saying fight for the title.
Oh, right. Okay, no.
We'll take a chance at that, man.
I got to get in shape, and I got to get more ring. I got to get more rounds.
Yeah. I mean, we have like we talked about once, a camp, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Where the right sparring, man, you'll be at 8. You will be. You'll be right there at 8. It's harder from 8. 8 is where you're going to be tested with better fighters,
right.
And that's where, when you start knocking those guys out, then you go to 9.
I know what I want to get. I just want to get better. So as long as we're getting better, I'm good.
Well, you just got to be at the gym more, man. That's all. You know Chaz?
Yeah.
Chaz is he hurt somebody today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't good. I was really worried. No, I was worried. He might almost kill the guy in the ring today. In here, that ring.
Who did he hurt?
Cupcake.
Which one is Cupcake?
The Southpaw, nice kid, white guy.
I don't know who that is.
Because I said white?
I don't know. Because I don't know who it is.
You didn't want to say, I want that white guy.
Cupcake. Which one is Cupcake?
White guy with hair and He switches all the time.
Oh, I fought.
Really nice guy.
I boxed him before.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Small guy.
Right.
He got hit on the top of the head with this hook that we're working with, like a quick hook after the jab. And he must have hit him with the knuckles right on the top of his head. And he got really hurt, and we had to take him out of the ring. And, I was really worried about it. I called him up like 5 times already. He says he's okay. He tells me this thing. He had surgery on the top of his head when he was a little kid.
Well, that's not good.
That's
that
not
doesn't
great.
sound
Yeah.
good. That is, yeah.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, but he's okay now.
Right.
Anyway,
Can't have those gym wars in here.
well, if you want to learn, sometimes you have to
Well,
be.
you
You
gotta
got
like
to let the
those.
hands go. But no,
A
it wasn't.
little bit,
It wasn't a
but
gym war. No, it was one punch. He hit him.
He just caught him.
He caught him on the top
That
of the
can
head.
happen.
Yeah. And but he's doing really well. He wants to fight. It's crazy. He's got this big career as a rapper. He wants to fight.
Right.
So with everything is real
Lining
fast,
up for
man.
him.
Yeah. No, it's good. Just like you.
Yeah. Let's get it done, man.
Okay, man. Done.
So everybody in the table's got a fight coming up except me.
Well, we're going
Mickey
to try
Rourke.
to get you Mickey Rourke. Yeah, Mickey Rourke, man. We'll try. $1 million in Japan, right?
I don't know. Would they pay that? I mean,
Don, you would take 200,000, right?
yep.
Okay. Hey, listen, it was really great having you guys here today, man. Don, real
Yep.
honor.
I never talked so much about. I can't even remember one thing we talked about, but it's a lot of talking. I know that.
Yeah, thank you, Van. Great.
Whatever
having
you guys
You
need,
could.
man.
I don't know how long your shows are, but you could just chop these up to
Yeah.
make a bunch of shows.
Yeah. Whenever you guys need me, man.
Thank you. Thank you for watching us. See you next time.